Amy Schumer used to get criticized for offensive jokes, alleged plagiarism, and whatever was going on with the leather special. But somehow, in the years since then, she's managed to upset everyone. Amy Schumer may have felt she was paying Khloé Kardashian a compliment when she commented on the reality TV star's weight loss while hosting SNL in 2015. Unfortunately, it wasn't taken that way. The drama began during the show's opening monologue, in which Schumer quipped,
"We used to have Khloé, you know? But then Khloé, she lost half her body weight. Like, Khloé she left it. She lost a Kendall."
When these comments were played back to Kardashian during an appearance on The Howard Stern Show, Kardashian was not exactly amused. Although she found Schumer funny, she also labeled her something of a hypocrite.
I was more upset that someone claims they're like a girl's girl and that they're all about women empowerment, and that she says I'm not relatable because I'm not fat anymore.
In 2016, Schumer was featured alongside Adele, Melissa McCarthy, and Ashley Graham in Glamour magazine's Chic at Any Size issue. But it's fair to say that she didn't appreciate the honor. Schumer quickly took to Instagram to argue about her plus-size label, pointing out that while this constitutes a size 16, she typically falls between 6 and 8.
I'm not going to apologize for who I am, and I'm going to actually love the skin that I'm in and not be like striving for some other version of myself.
Graham, however, believed that Schumer had taken offense where there wasn't any intended. During an interview with Cosmopolitan, the model also accused Schumer of hypocrisy, saying, "I can see both sides, but Amy talks about being a big girl in the industry. You thrive on being a big girl, but when you're grouped in with us, you're not happy about it." That, to me, felt like a double standard. Schumer soon responded to Graham on X, claiming that she understood where she was coming from and that she had nothing but respect for her. One of the worst things for a comedian to be accused of is plagiarism. Amy Schumer's reputation inevitably came under fire in 2016 when 3 comedians accused her of stealing their jokes. Wendy Liebman, Kathleen Madigan, and Tammy Pescatelli all claimed that Schumer had stolen their jokes. Pescatelli was the most vocal of the 3, writing in a since-deleted X post, "What has always been amazing to me is that she purports to be a feminist and yet only steals from other female comedians. If we call her on it, we are jealous or career-shamed. Be successful. We want you to do well. Just do it with your own material." Pescatelli concluded her online attack by revealing that Schumer had blocked her on the platform. Schumer later insisted that she'd done nothing wrong.
"I did not steal any jokes, and I wouldn't."
Although Pescatelli acknowledged that the situation had been blown out of proportion by the press, she still took issue at having her hard work stolen. She told Boston Magazine, "Originality is rare in this day and age. It does count because, again, every joke that someone tells, that's a stream of revenue, especially when you're a professional." Schumer didn't exactly endear herself to the Australian population when she mocked Nicole Kidman for her posture. The comedian came under fire after posting a since-deleted Instagram photo of Kidman watching the US Open and writing in the caption, "This how humans sit." Schumer later posted an apology to Instagram. However, this wasn't enough for radio personality Kyle Sandilands, who told his listeners, "This has got no idea. I don't know why she feels she can be an ass to everyone. I just don't like her because she's just a horrible human being. She's nothing." Seeing as she had co-hosted the Academy Awards 2 years earlier, Schumer clearly felt qualified to criticize Jauregui divisive hosting job at the 2024 Golden Globes. While appearing on the podcast Not Skinny But Not Fat, she did just that, arguing,
He got like a big lesson handed to him.
Schumer also said that Coy threw his writers under the bus by blaming them for the muted response to his jokes. Interestingly, while appearing on the podcast Good Guys, Josh Peck claimed that Schumer had now done what she'd accused Coy of. The former Drake and Josh star explained, "I feel defensive of comedians," and she basically was critical of Jauregui. She was throwing him under the bus, which was unfair because she's a comedian. It's like, we all know he had a tough night. Why continue to go after him a month later? In 2018, Kevin Hart decided to pass on hosting the Academy Awards following the resurfacing of tweets that many deemed homophobic, and thanks to one of his celebrity defenders, Amy Schumer's name ended up entering the conversation too. In an attempt to point out the hypocrisies of supposedly liberal Hollywood, Nick Cannon retweeted several similarly offensive messages that had been posted on the same social media platform by the likes of Schumer, Sarah Silverman, and Chelsea Handler. In Schumer's case, Cannon reminded everyone of a 2012 X post written by the comedian in which she used a homophobic slur in reference to fans of the new James Bond movie, Skyfall. Cannon then asked his followers if he should continue to point out such blatant double standards. While speaking to Vanity Fair in 2013, Schumer argued that fellow comedian Tig Notaro had it much tougher than other women on the road due to her sexuality and masculine appearance, adding that people are afraid of what they don't understand. Well, it appears that the star she was talking about didn't take kindly to such pigeonholing. Notaro told The Guardian, "I don't know what she was talking about. It sounds like offensive nonsense to me. I find that so offensive and weird. If you knew me well, you would never say that. Just when you thought things couldn't have gotten more awkward, Notaro also appeared to refute Schumer's claims that they'd ever been friends. Notaro told the outlet, "I worked with her for the first season of Inside Amy Schumer. Let's leave it there." In 2022, Schumer was set to co-host the Academy Awards and came up with the idea of inviting Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of war-torn Ukraine, to speak at the ceremony because of the attention it would bring to his cause. Unfortunately for Schumer, the idea went down like a lead balloon. Schumer was subsequently accused of displaying a sense of self-importance, with even one of her fellow co-hosts sticking the knife in. When asked about Schumer's request, which was denied by the show's producers, Wanda Sykes argued that celebrities should stick to what they know. Sykes told Variety, "You know, in Hollywood, we can get a little full of ourselves. I understand that, yeah, what we do reaches a lot of people, and we can persuade a lot of people, but it's also respectful to just know your lane. You know what I'm saying? Know your lane." In 2023, amid the war between Israel and Hamas, Schumer posted archival footage of Martin Luther King Jr. condemning the evils of anti-Semitism and stating that Israel must exist. At that point, Schumer was no stranger to speaking about the war, but the post drew criticism from King's daughter, who accused her of taking her father's words out of context. Bernice King wrote in an ex post, "Amy, certainly my father was against anti-Semitism, as am I. He also believed militarism, along with racism and poverty, to be among the interconnected triple evils. I am certain he would call for Israel's bombing of Palestinians to cease. He said, justice at its best is love correcting everything that stands against love. We have much to correct." She then posted a relevant clip of her dad discussing withdrawing from the war in Vietnam and urged Schumer to read his book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community? Bernice King wasn't the only individual who publicly called out Schumer for appearing to weaponize the words of Martin Luther King Jr. Singer Lauren Jauregui was also incensed at the comedian's online conduct. Jauregui wrote on X in part, "Keep Dr. King's name out of your mouths tomorrow, thanks. I'm talking to you especially, Amy Schumer." In stark contrast to Schumer, Jauregui has repeatedly voiced her support for Palestine, including several pleas for a ceasefire. Gabrielle Union sure wasn't holding back while promoting the controversial film Birth of a Nation. While discussing how the slavery drama could open up conversations about white privilege, the actor cited 3 specific celebrities she believed were prime examples. Amy Schumer was one such name, along with Kate Upton and Lena Dunham. Union told XO Nicole, "Maybe I can help to explain the oppressive systems that have benefited and allowed them to say these careless, insensitive, and offensive things. Those conversations are awkward as and they get heated, similar to watching people have conversations about consent." While Union appeared to be referencing Upton's criticism of the Miami Dolphins players who silently protested the national anthem, it's not entirely clear what put Schumer in her line of fire. However, it's believed that it's related to Schumer's interview with Dunham, in which they discussed NFL wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. Dunham later expressed remorse for her comments in an Instagram post, writing, "I would never intentionally contribute to a long and often violent history of the over-sexualization of black male bodies, as well as false accusations by white women towards black men. I'm so sorry." Schumer, however, kept quiet. You can always rely on Syleena Johnson to tell it like she sees it, and the singer was in typically outspoken form during a 2022 appearance on Cocktails with Queens, in which she blasted Schumer for her apparent lack of social conscience. While discussing the 2022 Buffalo mass shooting, which left 10 black people dead, Johnson noted how the tragedy had gone largely underreported in the media. She also mentioned how certain famous faces had kept quiet too. While referring to the moment Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Academy Awards, Johnson said, "Remember when the celebrities were traumatized over a smack between 2 grown-ass men? How loud are they now that an anti-black hate crime killed 10 people? Johnson then specifically shamed Schumer and fellow liberal comedy figure Judd Apatow before adding, "When it comes to policing black people, you haven't hesitated. But when black people are killed by a racist demon, where is your pale-ass tears?" In November 2023, Schumer made another enemy with her views on the Israel-Hamas war when she shared a provocative comic strip on Instagram. The since-deleted post was designed to satirize American supporters of the pro-Palestine movement and included a number of controversial signs. Actor Asia Jackson was just one of many individuals who called out the comedian for her sense of humor. While referring to comments made by Bella and Gigi Hadid about the war, Jackson wrote on X, "It's so crazy to me how Bella and Gigi had to tiptoe around their statements, and then Amy Schumer will still have a career." Despite not being tagged, Schumer somehow found the post and, in a direct message, wrote to Jackson, "Did something I post about my people being massacred upset you?" Jackson replied that Schumer's alleged Islamophobia is what offended her. From there, Schumer accused Jackson of being anti-Semitic and uneducated about Jewish history. The heated back and forth continued, with Jackson replying, "Imagine coming into a black person's DMs trying to lecture them about what it's like to feel unsafe. I don't let my mom walk around alone because she's Asian. Like, do you really think that you, a blonde, blue-eyed white woman, have some sort of claim on feeling unsafe?"